Look, man. It comes to a time when we say it's been 2 years. We remember things that happened all the way back then. We remember how this started because Dragon Ball GT, it lost to Dragon Ball Super. I understand that that bothers you. I understand that makes you mad. I substantiated that you hate Dragon Ball Super so much that you hate Toriyama. I substantiated that you was disrespecting Toriyama after he passed away and linking it to Dragon Ball Super. Right? Too many people crying about Toriyama. I never cry over him. Y'all don't know him. I never cry over somebody I don't know. I'm just trying to get people to put respect to your name. Sorry, Toriyama. P.S. I'm still going to go Super. That's it. That is all. Right? Combine that with another post of, hey, everything all the way up to the little help that you gave with GT. Thank you for that. But that Dragon Ball Super stuff you made, that really messed up the story, messed up the franchise, messed up everything. And I'm just going to keep it a band with you, even though that you're gone and I'm giving you your wings. I'm still going to keep it real with you. I don't like that super stuff, that nonsense. Boy, shut up. We already know exactly the reason why you came up there to make that post. It wasn't because you wanted to say rest in peace. It was because you wanted to say Super still sucks, nigga. You gone and Super sucks. Now what? That's what you was on. That's what everybody got. You used the occasion of his death to secrete more of that hatred and malice and spiteful energy that you had toward Dragon Ball Super and its fans. Okay, we already know. We already know. We know what agitates you the most, and you came up there not showing respect. You said, sorry, Toriyama, I'm just trying to make people put respect on your name. Seems like you were doing the opposite. Seems like you had a problem with people that were putting respect on my name, people that were crying, that were saying rest in peace, that were saying we love you. You had a problem with all that. You stepped out, said, oh, y'all niggas stop crying. If you don't know him, I shouldn't hear you crying. So essentially, you don't want to see nobody crying over Toriyama because you don't know nobody who knows him. So what you're saying is the world better stop crying over Toriyama right now. You know you're not going to bump into his wife, bump into his son, you're not going to bump into them. So what you're saying is, I'm tired of seeing niggas cry over Toriyama. Period. If you say nobody should be crying over him unless you knew him personally, then what you're saying is you should never see anybody crying over him because you don't know nobody who knows him. You're basically trying to make it so that don't nobody know who this guy is. You trying to make it so that
like no one can ever relate to Toriyama.
Exactly.
No
you tried to.
No one.
Toriyama's just out here living life
for him. Right. Toriyama's out here just living life experience no one can ever relate to. He's out here just telling story. You can't relate to this story, so don't cry about me.
Exactly. Black Sasuke pull up the moment he see that somebody dropped a tear over you passing away. And like I explained to him in that Discord call, you know, a person could be thinking about whatever it is that affects them. It don't necessarily mean that, you know, and by the way, sometimes a person is aware that the presence of death is sad and they're more aware of that emotional sentiment than you are in that moment. Maybe you'll cry later, maybe you won't. Maybe they'll cry now, maybe they won't. But it's also the fact of the matter of sometimes a person can cry because of how it related to him. I can see somebody losing his mom and think of my mom and think about how much time I got left with my mom and think about close calls I had with my mom. Before you know it, I'm crying. I could think of somebody losing their little one and think like, man, I could never imagine. Before you know it, I'm already crying because I done imagined it. I done thought about it for too long, right? And that's not the only way that a person can cry over someone they don't know. But for you to step out and say it shouldn't exist is highly insensitive and shows us that you got a problem with anybody that you come across that you see is crying over Toriyama. You don't want to see nobody crying over him. Just say that. Right? But when it comes down to your homie, you on here crying all up the place, right? Oh, well, I know him, but you posted it publicly. So why would you post it publicly if there ain't nobody who's supposed to understand those feelings?
Exactly. We just taking the same logic we applied to you, and now you're over here talking about that's not fair. Well, guess what? There's a phone number for you to call.
That's what I think personally. You know, Hot Boy Sasuke is having a hard time dealing with niggas calling him out for shit he did. Now, when he did that, and see, here's the thing, he thought shit was all good because wasn't nobody calling him out, wasn't nobody paying attention, didn't nobody have a channel dedicated to seeing exactly what a nigga is hiding and what a nigga is protecting. Didn't nobody have a channel to identifying the blueprint that niggas be trying to hide, agendas that niggas be trying to hide. When I popped around and I saw that and I said, and I took that back to the back computer. When I took it back to the back computer and the back computer patched me in the Courage the Cowardly Dog's computer.
Oh man,
bro, when that happened, they both confirmed to me together in a group chat, nigga, that you was full of it. What you talking about, nigga?
Man.
They said, you know, you waste. Batman came in the room irritated with me and told me I was wasting his processing power. So I nearly got my ass kicked because I was trying to find something out that we already know about you.
Yeah, man.
Is it silly? Does it sound like, oh, this guy think everybody problem is He think Dragon Ball is the cause of everything. Yeah, you might think that. And you should think that. You should be able to think that I'm bugging. But I'm not. You should be able to say, any nigga that think that Dragon Ball is the cause of niggas crashing out and all of this is bugging. You should be able to think that, because by all rights, that should be the case. I wish I could say that. But it's not. These niggas exist. These niggas exist, and they literally go that out of pocket over being mad at Toriyama, being mad at Dragon Ball. Everything that happened is a result of him being mad about that. And once he lost the argument to Dragon Ball Super, once he lost that, it turned into this anger.
Now I want to talk about why do people have a dislike for Dragon Ball Super, right? Here's all the only complaints I hear about people when they say they don't like about Dragon Ball Super. The transformations are just a hair color change. That's it. If there's more, let me know. But so far, only thing I hear is when it comes down to transformations, it's just the hair color change.
What was Super Saiyan 1? What changed when Goku went Super Saiyan?
When he went Super Saiyan, hair was yellow. Okay, everybody loved the yellow hair, right?
And yellow is a color.
Yellow is a color, right? No problems with that. It became iconic. People was referencing it. Cool, right?
Right.
Dragon Ball GT come out, Super Saiyan 4. There's people in the world that love it. I like it. I don't love it. I do like it. It's not my favorite, but I'm not hating on it. I think it's a misnomer. I think it should have been the Azaru, like an Azaru 2, not Super Saiyan 4, but whatever, right? It became canon in Daima. Right? Now we're in Super, right? Our heroes are now learning how to use God Ki, right? Now because they're using God Ki, the first color, the color went red. The color went red.
Right.
Okay, we're learning God Ki, right? What did you want the transformation to look like? You wanted his clothes to change?